Lindenwood head coach Jed Stugart, the Lions kicked off the season and win against Wisconsin Stevens Point. Back in action, nationally ranked SEMO, the first conference game of the year, a game ball brawl. So, Coach, thoughts on your team? We'll go to some questions.
Well, I mean, I think we're still we've got to still find out what kind of team we have. I mean, obviously, we came out last week, played a team that's in a lower division. We kind of knew that, and so I don't think we've got any grand feelings about our team off of that game. We came out and did what we want to do. We asked them, Coach Vanyard is a guy that took over that program here a year ago, and they're trying to get that turned around. And what we had asked our team is to come out and play at our standard, and set the tempo. And our guys came out and did that, but nowhere near the test that we're going to get this week. So we still got to kind of find out what kind of team we have, and that's what we're preparing for this week. And a really very good quality team as SEMO.
Anybody has a question for Coach, let me know down in the chat and I'll call on you. Let's start with SEMO and then we'll go to some questions about your team. But they obviously played a top 15 FBS opponent. So you know what they do, though. You played them last year. So what do you think? What are the positives, or what are the strengths of their team?
Well, I think people look at scores. We watch film. I thought they did a bunch of really good things against a really, really good opponent in K-State. I've always believed they're an extremely well-coached football team on all facets. And you could see that, and sometimes you can't just look at a score of a game and feel like, I was really impressed with a lot of things they did. I'm sure, we as coaches look and kind of see the things we got to improve on. But, I was really, again, I think it shows us, again, what kind of quality opponent that SEMO is. I thought they played well in a lot of aspects of that game. So, yeah, definitely.
And I know you probably heard some of Coach Tukes talk about playing for the trophy and having two teams in the state. Can you talk a little bit about that? And the 1 year doesn't make a rivalry, but what a budding rivalry would be.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got to compete and win to make it a rivalry. I mean, I think that's kind of on our shoulders now. But what a special thing for our both teams. The student athletes. This is an exciting thing. I remember when I was at the University of Sioux Falls, we played for a key to the city against Augustana every week or every year, and man, it's an exciting week and it's an exciting time. It's great for the fans and it's great for college football to have rivalries like this. And so I was when we first talked about that. At Mega Camp or our OBC meetings, one of those we were talking about this rivalry and playing for something, and I was very excited about that. We had talked about it here, and so that everybody was on the same page right away. So it makes for the extra part of the season is playing a special game like this.
We're going to go to Jake from WSIL in Carbondale. He's got a question for you.
Morning, Coach. How are you?
Great, Jake. How are you today, man?
Good. So I wanted to know if you could expand more about this trophy. Do you feel that your players now have extra incentive to win this game on Saturday?
Well, I mean, when you say extra incentive, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the case. It's a very special thing that we want to take most serious and realize that, this is your bragging rights and all those things are an extra component. I think, so there's no doubt, but I think, we as coaches and players, are wired, that it shouldn't always just be about a rivalry trophy as well. I mean, I think that's the cherry on top. I think with us and where we're at in our program, is this second year, we know a little bit more what to expect. We're still growing in this and developing and recruiting to it. And it's a great opportunity, especially to start off against a the team that was picked to win our conference and the current conference champion. And so, we've talked about the respect in a rivalry like this, that you give everything you got to it, that it is a big deal. And, so yeah, I think it's a little cherry on top, no doubt.
Coach Tuke mentioned when you guys played last, it was a 2-score game, even late in the game last year. Is there anything you can draw from that first matchup against them last year?
Well, yeah, you can't forfeit opportunities to win, and I feel like that's what we did. We had we had 2 key, fumble and interception in the red zone that probably make that an entirely different ball game at that time. And so, so that was a very close game. We had 2 crucial mistakes there. But our guys, and then get kind of later in the game and you're trying to make something happen. You're going for it on 4th down and things like that. So the score probably looked a little bit more like it wasn't a close game, but it really was a close game. We had to sit on that taste for a little bit last season, knowing that you can't make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in games. That's just the reality of it. You can't play a perfect game, but you can't make those type of games and survive against really good football teams like SEMO and well-coached football teams like SEMO. And we, looking back on that. So, we reflected a lot on that this off season, and we've talked a lot about, that's kind of our thing this year. In the past, before we moved up, we could get away with some games where we made mistakes in the past in our last conference, and we could still survive and we could still pull off a win. You just can't. You can't do that at this level right now, especially where we're at. And the games that we won last year, we played 4 quarters of pretty consistent football, and we're able to come out of some of those with wins by not forfeiting those opportunities.
And finally, have you guys had the talk of trying to be road warriors, going to a revamped SEMO stadium, it's all new, trying to kind of spoil their debut, so to speak, of their new field? Has that been maybe a talking point at all?
Oh, I don't know that I get into, all these motivational tactics and everything. I mean, you got to kind of be, that's our job every week, is to try to go win a football game. I think it's exciting. We've always had, our guys have always kind of liked going on the road. Even our record last year, some of our wins, most of our wins were on the road. They kind of like it. Really excited to see the new facilities, upgrades there, and be fun atmosphere. I know they got a great fan base. Our kids kind of like that stuff, and it makes it tougher when you go into a place like that. They have a lot of pride there. Their fans have a lot of pride. They've had success on that field, so we know it's already a tough task to play SEMO, but going to their place, especially with this rivalry, the fans are going to be ready to go, and our guys will embrace that. We kind of like that.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jake.
Coach, you alluded to, you played a lower division opponent, but your offense was very good. And, Cole's been with your program, but he got to be the starter, 9 of 14, 263 yards, so efficient, got a lot of different people in the running game and receivers. Did you see what you wanted to see from your offense, even though it was against a lower opponent?
Well, I told him last year, we played a lower opponent last year, and I reminded him it was only 7-3 in the first quarter. We came out probably just assuming that a lower level team was going to lay down for us. We found out that they didn't. And so our challenge was to these guys to say, it doesn't matter who you're playing. We have to prepare and practice as though we're playing the national champion each week. And so our guys really bought into that. And so when we came out, all 3 phases of our team played at that level. And that's what I was really proud of. We don't have any false sense of security on a game like this. We know that we have not been tested. This is going to be a major test for us this year. So our guys are very humble. They put that game to rest very quickly. I liked our leadership addressing that, to say, hey, this was a win we were expected to win. We needed to win. We came out, we won, and it's move on quickly. And we didn't celebrate it very long because we know this one is the one that matters.
Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck in that game on Saturday. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you.